Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage and welcome back to episode 3 of XCom 2. Hopefully this time around I'm not going to be playing quite so derpily and keep some people alive on the next mission. Mainly because we need to actually get some soldiers that have some skills instead of just taking rookies out every time. So let us go in and speak to whoever we need to speak to in engineering.
Okay. Reworked your repulsors with some of the parts I salvaged from their old engine. Should fix that stabilization problem you had. Come on, Rover. It'll work. Commander! Getting our tech to talk to theirs is harder than you'd think. Lily Shen, Chief Engineer, at your service. You were probably expecting to see my father. In all that's happened, I'm guessing Central didn't tell you yet. He's gone. Dad gave everything he had to get us this far. This entire ship is his life's work. I know he would have loved to show you around the place himself. He used to talk about you a lot. You can be sure I'm ready to finish what he started. Might not look it, but from here, I can fabricate pretty much anything you come up with. And with a little more help, well, you'd be amazed with what I can do. It was an honor to finally meet you, Commander. I can't promise any miracles, Commander, but I should be able to put some of this stuff together in no time at all. I'd suggest we get started with a medkit. It'll probably come in handy sooner rather than later.
You see, it's doing that thing again where I'm standing here in the room with the person who's speaking to me, but they're speaking to me via this little comm screen up in the corner as opposed to the character model being animated. There's just something about that that feels lazy. I don't know, I don't particularly like that. Anyway, we've got a med kit we can build. It's the only thing we can build, so we'll go ahead and build it straight away.
Looks like Tygan has made progress on his research. We should meet him in the lab.
Looks like we're going back to the lab. I'm not sure if we can click on anything else. No, everything else is totally blocked out. So, over to the lab we go.
Much of my own research based upon this simple design. If only I had known. Ah, Commander, excellent timing. There's been some progress. I've managed to break down several key components of the chip implanted into your skull. My analysis reveals that its primary function was that of a conduit, passing a vast amount of data directly to your cerebral cortex. With the primary connection severed, much of that data is lost. Several fragments do remain, however. Ghosts, if you will. Observe. Tactical combat simulations. War games. The sheer volume of encounters you were processing was astounding. It is truly remarkable that you survived as long as you did. Though this may seem disconcerting, there is still some good news. This chip bears a striking resemblance to a medical implant I briefly assisted in developing at the gene therapy clinic in New Providence. My understanding was that the implants were intended for high-ranking Advent officers only, captains or above. Retrieving a chip from such an officer would be the only way to know for certain. A greater understanding of these implants would undoubtedly benefit us all, Commander.
New objective added.
Okay, so I was distracted throughout that whole cutscene because it's the second time I've seen it, but I just noticed that Dr. Tygan actually has the Firaxis logo on the arms of his glasses. I hadn't noticed that before. You probably won't really ever get to see them apart from in cutscenes where you see him up close, but if you look carefully, he does have the Firaxis logo there. So we have a new objective, which is to complete an Advent officer autopsy.
The Advent officers have clearly been modified to allow for their subordinates to receive new orders psionically. The implanted chip is the key.
So, with little time to prepare, we are forced to conduct an extremely invasive procedure on the commander in order to remove what appeared to be an implant carefully enmeshed within the occipital lobe. Although all indications were that the device was not designed for removal, concerns as to the commander's potential longevity and the risk of possible remote manipulation by the aliens left us with little alternative. Despite my concerns, the commander has so far felt no lasting effects from the procedure and appears to be recovering ahead of expectations. As for the chip itself, my initial findings are alarming to say the least. The device is psionically driven by the latent energy of the subject's brain, in this case the commander. More importantly, it appears that the device functions as both a transmitter and receiver, relaying information via some form of psionic link. Even after removal, I've had to shield the device to contain the residual psionic fields surrounding the implant itself, for fear of what it might be capable of. If my current theory is correct, the commander may have played a more important role in Advent's operations than we could have possibly imagined. And we've got some extra stuff that we can research now: Advanced Warfare Center, Sectoid Autopsy, and the Advent Officer Autopsy. So we could go straight for the Advent Officer Autopsy, or we could go for some of the other stuff. I'm guessing if we go for this, it'll progress the story. So let's try going for modular weapons so we can start getting some better gear.
That area of research to be among the more intriguing options available. We'll begin work immediately. I'll send word when a complete report is available.
Looks like Shen got that converter up and running, Commander. We're ready for you on the bridge.
So we don't actually have a spare scientist at the moment, so our research is still fast though, because these early projects are quite quick. Can we go and check anywhere else out? Nope, we still can't go anywhere else, so off to the bridge we go.
Just stay clear of the perimeter, understood?
Commander, good. I think we got something here. Despite all of Advent's efforts, there are still people who refuse to believe their lies. And it's time we let them know they're not alone. We've already located a target for our first operation.
Sir, given our current location, there's actually no way the Sky Ranger could reach that position.
Who said anything about the Sky Ranger? Shen, status report. Are we ready?
Short answer, yes. But you might all want to hold on to something.
Setting course for the Western U.S. Precinct.
So the Avenger is Skyborn.
We're ready to start making moves, Commander. By hitting Advent wherever we find them, we can help strengthen the Resistance. In return, they'll contribute material and personnel to support our operations.
So here we go, we have our first Guerrilla Ops mission. Operation Bleeding Mist, which I will never remember for the title of the video, and we'll have to go back afterwards and have a look when I'm uploading it. So we've got to hack a workstation on the Advent train. It's supposed to be easy, and we will receive an engineer for doing so. If it's hacking a workstation, it's most likely going to be timed.
Commander, it looks like Shen prepped a med kit for us. We should equip one of our soldiers with it before they deploy.
We have ourselves some more rookies. Oh, I've appeared in here as well. That's useful. We are going to need to get ourselves a med kit. At least one person should have a med kit, so let's do that. Shadowhawk's weapon colour has changed. I'm not sure if it'll let us edit that. Customize weapon colour. I think it's just because the class changed. You should be purple, or should we say ultraviolet, and he'll know what that means. So there we go. So at least we've got one person on the team who isn't a complete scrub. So we've got somebody with some decent abilities. We've got an extra grenade. We've also got Foundation Afro with us this time around. So let us get right in there. Hopefully not get myself killed on this mission. It'll be just my luck. Get myself killed on the first mission. Standard.
Sky Ranger deployed.
The squad is ready to deploy on your order, Commander.
At least the good thing about timed missions.
Operating mobile survey teams from some of their trains in this region, and we've located an unprotected terminal connected to their network nearby. The data we're after is critical to the aliens' latest operation. This is our chance to stop their progress. We'll need to move in and secure the site, remove any hostile threats, and gain control of the access point to recover the data.
I was just about to say, one of the good things about the timed missions is it does kind of force you to be a little bit more aggressive and sort of run in and get stuff done, as opposed to just sort of sitting on Overwatch for 20 turns. Those are really horrible sunshades, by the way.
Menace 1-5, this is Avenger. The access point we're after is just ahead. Move to secure the area. Expect hostile resistance.
That is miles away, and I've got 8 turns to get there. That's like the other side of the map. Yeah, I'm not necessarily sure that this game's balanced at the best of times. Right, let's move forwards with a single move. We might have to try and get as close as we can before we activate anything and just sort of head straight for it. We don't have a support with us, so we can't hack it remotely from a distance, because that would have sped things up.
Squad located.
Okay, so we have spotted some enemies. Now we've got the...
We have a chance to do some serious damage here.
Yeah, we know how ambush works.
Let's make sure we make the most of our advantage.
I'm not necessarily sure, though, that I actually want to alert them to my presence right now. I almost want to just sprint over towards the objective and not activate those guys. Now, how far can you get up? I guess we can sort of put you in this cover here. As long as we don't get flanked, we should be okay. And I think this is going to be the primary advantage of the concealment mechanic. And that is literally just trying to get to objectives quickly. Now, there is a potential chance of being spotted around there. I'd like to know what's sort of over in this direction. Let's get someone who is a little closer. I guess I'll run the risk myself. I don't really want to put Shadowhawk out there if I can help it. So let's have a look and see if we can see anything over in this direction.
Trains running around the clock, but you'll never see them loading or unloading any cargo. At least not where anyone can see it.
Okay, so we haven't spotted anybody out there. That doesn't mean there isn't anybody around. I am going to risk moving a little bit further forwards. No, we are still safe. So I'm just trying to find positions that I can put soldiers in where we're not going to actually activate any other aliens.
Got it.
But try and get close enough to the train so we can do the hack. I guess that should be a relatively safe spot. We hope. Okay, good, good. And you, I guess, are just going to have to sit over there. Not too sure if the aliens are carrying grenades. Or Advent are carrying grenades. Let's hope they're not. Okay, things still aren't too bad. We've still got quite a distance to actually get to reach the train, which is potentially problematic. So we'll still carry on doing this sort of two-move system. Yeah, and we have found some bad guys. That was to be expected. And I'm not sure whether these guys move around or whether they stand still, because not all of the bad guys do actually move. Some of them do actually just stand around and don't patrol. Getting somebody up top could be useful, but I'm not sure if that's going to work. It doesn't look like we can get from one train carriage into the other, so we are going to have to try and find our way into this carriage. Whether or not we could go around the other side. It's potentially risky, though, because these guys can, to a certain degree, see inside the train. So I think we leave Afro there for the time being on Overwatch. We could move him up a little bit, but it's a bit risky because of this. We do need to get a fair bit further forward. We do have a grenade. We know there are two guys there that we could probably kill. We would then, of course, have to be dealing with this sectoid over here. So let's go ahead and grab somebody else. We could put you this side of the fence here. Now, you are flanked by this guy, which I appreciate, but that's fine, because we're going to try and take that guy out with a grenade. Actually, what I should have done is check that Afro can reach, because I bet he can't now. Yeah, Afro can't actually reach with a grenade there. That's okay, though. It doesn't matter unless we get spotted. So, we'll go on to Overwatch with you. You can't really get anywhere remarkably safe, unfortunately. We could put you up on the roof. Does give you a height advantage, but you've got no cover up there at all, and I dislike that immensely. Myself, I'm down here, and again, I don't really have an awful lot of useful positions that I could get into. I'm actually going to flank around to this side, because it should help me deal with these guys when we activate them, because we will end up activating both groups. We definitely can't reach that far with you. We could run forwards to there. I don't think those guys are going to flank him. I'm really just crossing fingers now. It could be a mistake. Well, we haven't been spotted. Afro, you are going to Overwatch. Right, these guys are moving. They might flank me now. No, they haven't flanked me. Right, now we need to start taking some people out. And this is important. Because we've got people who are flanked. And people who can be seen. We're going to be spotted next turn, whether we like it or not. So, I think what we do here is we leave me on Overwatch.
Affirmative. Covering now.
And we leave Afro on Overwatch. No, we won't leave Afro on Overwatch. We're going to start by taking our rookie, who doesn't have a grenade, which is no good at all. So you're going to go on to Overwatch.
Roger, got my eyes on.
And then our Afro here is going to throw his grenade and hit these two guys. We've still got 5 turns to get to the thing and hack it. So there's one guy dead and the sectoid damaged. He should start running. We should get a couple of shots at him. And the sectoid is down. Brilliant. That was my biggest concern. He's actually dropped an item as well. So these guys could try and move now. We do still have an Overwatch left. And I actually get a kill, which is nice. Get myself a promotion. Right, what are you going to do? You've chosen not to do anything right there. So we want to try and get kills where we can. You're in full cover. What sort of odds do you have? 54% is not great. What about you? Why is it saying you don't have any movement left? Oh no, because it's still our turn. The aliens haven't taken their turn yet. So Shadowhawk still has his movement left. What we could do, and is what I think I will do, is we're just going to go ahead and just fire a grenade in there. We'll take a guaranteed kill. On the head. There he goes. So that's all of the aliens that we could see eliminated. Doesn't mean there isn't more of them around. So you're going to move in here, pick up that item. And we get an Illyrium core and an alien data cache.
Got it. On the target. Commander,
you can see the terminal.
Of the exposed access point.
Let's get you back into what I'd like to call a relatively safe spot. Obviously there's got to be more aliens around somewhere that we can't see.
Moving out.
Let's start moving Shadowhawk forwards. We do have another grenade left. Can't see anything else at the moment. I'm going to sprint up to here. Still nothing spotted. And then we've got our sort of temporary medic here. Let's just swizzle the camera around so we can see. Do we have any cover? Well, that's kind of cover from some directions. It's not necessarily the best cover. But we can't see anybody else. We'll put Shadowhawk onto Overwatch, just in case something jumps out at us.
Network is almost entirely locked down. We're running out of time. Get to that terminal.
So we know we're running out of turns. That is fine. Can I get there in a single turn? The answer to that question is no. I don't think I've got anybody close enough that can get there in a single turn. So I'm going to actually rush forwards with the medic there, just get them on board the train. Okay, did you just get a target there? No, it's just that thing that's making the noise. Okay, I think then what we need to do is get people inside the doors so that we've got the high cover of the train that we can use as a bit of protection. So let's get you in on this side. We're not going to have any overwatches on this turn, but we can't see any enemies, and there's nobody on their way in as far as we know. We're just going to turn the camera around here to make sure we do end up inside and we don't end up accidentally climbing up onto the roof. Right, so we're all in. We're stacking up on the doors. We've got enemy movement, so we know there's something out over in this direction. So we're going to start off by hacking the terminal.
Attempting connection.
So we're going to breach the network. This soldier's hacking stat permanently increased by 20. That'd be awesome if that happens. It's probably not going to. But you never know. No, we didn't get very high at all. But we did manage to breach the network, so that's a good start.
We've confirmed successful acquisition of the Advent files. Eliminate any remaining hostiles in the area.
Now we need to get rid of any remaining aliens. So I think we're going to take Shadowhawk out here. Guard from that position. Let me take myself and go to the other side of that door, actually. And we'll put Afro up on this side of the door and we can overwatch. So the time has gone now, which means we can sort of take our time to deal with the remaining aliens. We'll overwatch with Shadowhawk as well. And you can... What do I want to do with you? You want to move you up here as well? I think you can just overwatch. You never know, you might get an angle on something if it gets close enough. Well, there's something going on, even though we can't actually see what it is. There's some very interesting sound effects coming from the darkness that we can't see what it is. Oh, there we go. We have a sectoid. Shadowhawk is opening up with a very wide volley that missed completely.
That is not good. Advent troops here.
Now the question is, what are they going to do? We do have another overwatch. That's Afro. Taking a blind shot through the wall and still managing to get a hit. 3 health left on that sectoid. So we could potentially kill that sectoid with a well-placed grenade. This guy is not on Overwatch, so I think what we'll do is we'll actually take... would that be flanking? Don't think it quite would be. We'll try and take the shot with Shadowhawk, though. And my reason... Yeah, it is flanking. The reason for doing that is if we kill him with a grenade, then any loot that he might potentially drop could be lost to us. So we're going to take the shot. It's an 80% chance. I'm happy with those odds. We've got a backup plan if he doesn't go down. But he has gone down. Did he drop anything for us? It doesn't look like he did. No, unfortunately he did not. So we've got one guy left who's hiding there behind the train. Do we have any grenades left? Yep, I've got one. Let me go and hide behind this tree. And we will just throw a grenade right on top of him. Should be a guaranteed kill. And it is.
Status confirmed. All hostiles are down and the area is secure. Status
Okay,
confirmed.
good mission.
Mission accomplished.
Flawless rating. It'll probably be the last one. And we should get some promotions out of that. Look at that. Successful shot percentage. 100% record. Yep, that's the last time you're ever going to see that in this playthrough. We didn't even get fired at once. There is nobody under fire. Dealt the most damage. Foundation Afro. But apparently it was me doing all the running around. We have landed. Strange loading glitch thing going on there. This is still the preview version that I'm playing right now, so...
We're taking Advent apart one mission at a time, Commander. Impressive work.
Okay, brilliant. So we get promotions across the board. Let's start with Foundation Afro, sir. You are another sharpshooter. Okay. Well, I don't mind snipers. Let's take our random rookie here. You are a specialist. Well, it was quite handy that I gave you the med pack then. Mr. Shadowhawk, sir, you get another promotion. So this time you actually get the choice. We can go Demolitions Expert or we can go Heavy Gunner. If we go for Demolitions Expert, we can get Blast Padding. So your gear includes a layer of extra padding and blast plates, guaranteeing a bonus point of armor and 66% less damage from explosives. However, as a Heavy Gunner, your gun would shred armor. I think Shadowhawk is the kind of guy that would like to blow stuff up, so I think we're going to mainly go down Demolitions Expert. We'll probably have quite a few hybrid classes, but I think we'll probably end up with having at least one of each class that pretty much has all the perks from one side of the tree. And blowing stuff up in the early game is generally a very effective way of guaranteeing kills, really. So we are going to go for Blast Padding and continue on. And myself, what do I get? I am a ranger. Great. So I get to be the guy that runs up close and slashes people in the face with a rather ineffective sword. Well, I guess that makes sense. But good job, team. That was good work. We've recovered an Illyrium core. We've got an alien data cache. We've got some corpses. A couple of sectoid corpses as well, which is nice. So having recently discovered an alien data cache storing valuable enemy intelligence, I can dedicate my team's resources to decrypting the files and ensuring that we recover the large amount of intel stored within.
Some help. We can start clearing out the old equipment and debris from the ship to make room for new facilities.
So we now have ourselves an engineer. So this is basically the area that you get to build. So it's still kind of like the ant farm base that was in XCom 1. Except there isn't quite as many tiles to excavate. You've got far fewer here. There's only 12. I can't remember how many there was in XCOM 1. I think there was 4 layers of 4, maybe. So you had 16, so slightly less. And all of them need to be excavated, because this is basically an old repurposed alien transport vessel, and all this stuff is just like rooms that are wrecked and just full of broken equipment. So we're going to go into this one.
First, we'll need to assign an engineer to the task. Once we start getting into the far reaches of the ship, it's going to take more time and manpower to make space for new facilities.
So basically, as we go further down, it takes longer and costs us more to do. But we do get supplies. Now, supplies is basically the what we have instead of money. Because we're a sort of almost a terrorist organisation here. We don't actually have... Well, we're not terrorists, we're resistance. We're a resistance group, and we don't have cash. We have supplies. So we actually get supplies from actually taking the stuff from these rooms. So we'll assign an engineer, and that gives us...
We'll get started, Commander.
That gives us 100% excavation speed, so we'll start the excavation.
It's going to take some time to get all that stuff cleared out.
Commander, we have a
so that is
secure
going to take 5
transmission
days.
coming through. Source unknown. Patching it through to your quarters.
Wish these guys would stop interrupting me. So yeah, it is going to take 5 days, and I believe the length of time that it takes to do anything, like science, tech, building stuff, it does vary depending on the difficulty level you have set. Anyway, let's go to our quarters and find out what this incoming message is.
Hello, Commander. The council you once knew is no more. Its membership have all sworn loyalty to the Advent administration, with one exception. It is good to see you again. In the days since your capture, I have done all I can to aid the Resistance from the inside. It was these Resistance operatives that provided the intel leading to your recent extraction. As of now, Resistance forces are currently somewhat disorganized. If we are to defeat Advent and their alien masters, you must change this before it is too late. What you are seeing are classified reports of missing civilians from across the world. Their numbers are growing. We suspect they have been taken to a nearby Advent black site, though its exact location remains unknown. Time is short, Commander. We need you to take charge of Resistance operations throughout the world. Establish contact with the local cells and bring them into the fold. Find this black site and shut it down. Save our world. The clock is ticking. Good luck, Commander.
Well,
Looks like we better get started, Commander. I'll be on the bridge when you're ready.
looks like we've got an old friend back. However, we won't be continuing on until the next video, so thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you are still enjoying XCOM 2. I'll see you next time. Until then, goodbye for now.